Today, I'm gonna be building the biggest square base in 99 Nights in the Forest. A few videos ago, I built the biggest triangle base, but now we are adding a side to the shape and making a square base. And then after that, we might do pentagon, then hexagon, septagon, octagon, nonagon, decagon. Who knows what we're gonna go up to? But for now, let's just focus on making the best square base possible. And if I actually do keep going up in shapes, I have no idea how we're gonna build it, because triangle was already hard, square will be easier, but pentagon, hexagon, and even decagon, I have no idea how we're gonna do that. Gonna have to just do some crazy outline, I have no idea. But for right now, we're playing the lumberjack class, planting all our saplings over here, got the level 3 fire, and I think for the entirety of day 1, we're just gonna be getting as many saplings as possible, and then also get a bunny foot so we can get a better sack. There we go, third try, we got our bunny foot, so we'll be ready to get the good sack whenever the trader comes by, but for now, we're just gonna be getting a bunch of saplings. All right, it's now day 2. Let's get our good sack, and we've already got a lot of trees planted right here. Some of them already grew, which is good. Let's grab all this wood, and we're gonna have a ton of wood for farm plots and whatever else we need. And then when these saplings keep growing, we'll keep cutting them down, and then that'll allow us to get our log walls and also our torches very easily. Because in case you didn't see my triangle video, I'm gonna be making the base as big as possible with 10 torches, and then within that space, whatever we can do, we're gonna be building our square walls. So let me get the next crafting bench. We'll also get a sundial, a couple farm plots, and that way we'll have a consistent food source as soon as we get the crock pot. Or actually, technically this is consistent too, but we do need a lot more food than just carrots. But we will need scrap for the crock pot, so instead of getting trees, let's actually go get some scrap today. And also some fuel to get the fire leveled up. I also do need a weapon to get the kids. Strong flashlight is very good early on though. I will take that. Got a fuel canister right here. I think that's pretty rare for a level 3 fire. So now we just need some coal and we'll be good to get level 4. And overall, wow, okay, 2 fuel canisters. We just really need a lot of scrap though, because we're gonna need 60 for the torches and also scrap for the other things we want to build. I might even need a radar to find the anvil, because we will want a hammer to build a very nice base. No way. Why are mythic chests so easy to find nowadays? Okay, I'm about to die, but it's worth it for the mythic chest. We also got 2 pieces of coal and a fuel canister, exactly what we need. And thorn armor, not bad, but not the greatest. It will work for right now though, because I didn't have any armor. All right, so let's use the fuel that we have. Should easily get fire level 4. There we go. I also only need 1 more piece of scrap to get the next crafting bench. So tomorrow we're going to be getting more scrap. We're also going to be chopping down all these trees eventually. So we're already going to have a lot of wood. Scrap is probably going to be the hardest thing to find now. We're also on day 3, which I'm pretty sure is the day when the frogs come out, but they haven't yet. There we go. Okay, now they're coming out. So I'm wondering, I don't think it's worth it for me to take out the frogs just because it is a decent amount of time you use to actually go down to the whirlpool and all that. But there might be a weapon by the whirlpool. And if I can find that, I'll happily grab that. But if not, we'll just deal without it. We're also almost at fire level 5, which is good. I just need some food badly. All right, we got some food. We also got the 1 scrap that we need. Or actually, I guess I already have enough. Then we'll get craft dimension 3. And then we want to get the crock pot soon. So let me go find some more scrap. And then after that, chop down our trees at night. And we'll be good on food. That is the #1 thing that I just want to have out of the way, which will allow us to build our base a lot faster. And because I'm playing the lumberjack and we already have so much wood, I don't think this will take too much time. Got a revolver. That will be useful to get the first couple kids. And we did find the anvil. Perfect. That'll save us some scrap and wood so that we won't have to build the radar. Also got a piece of cake here. And I'm trying to pick up all the coin stacks that I see, because we are going to want to make this a very nice base. We don't just make big bases around here. No, we make move-in ready, new construction, California level property in this neighborhood, which is actually full of very friendly neighbors. See, all of these neighbors were actually running a 5K. They're not trying to murder me as it seems. Hoping for a spear out of here and then we'll go straight home. All right, make it's not bad. Let me drop off this scrap. And with the trees that we have that I do want to chop down once we get back, we should be good for a crock pot and maybe even a few more things. This should also get us to fire level 5. Yep, there we go. We also have so much wood already. All right, put this in the bench. With this, we can get the crock pot, and our farm plots seem to be just about to grow, so that's perfect timing. Yeah, okay, that was almost exact timing, so we'll put some stew in there, or make some stew in there. And then with this wood, I believe we can make a boost pad, which will help us to go loot faster. All right, there we go. Got the boost pad. Still have 27 scrap, though, so maybe we should even get the regular bed, and with this wood, the good bed. All right, let's get the regular bed, good bed, and actually the biofuel processor, too. So we have a ton of stuff right now. So let me head out to the very edge of the map, and I'm going to try to find some fuel so we can get fire level 6 is essentially what we need until we want to start building our torches, which is where we're gonna need a lot of scrap too. So we're gonna have to go get that on this trip as well. And now that I think about it, I think those are the only two things you'd really take trips for. Fuel and scrap, because wood you could find decently easy. Oil barrel's really good though. Got a rifle too. We will need that for the 3rd and 4th kid. Got another oil barrel in here too. Okay, we might be able to get fire level 6 very fast. And then that'll get pretty much the beginning stages out of the way. This is an extremely quick run. We also just found 2 more rifles right next to each other. I found a rifle in the bathroom and we found our original rifle. That's 4 rifles in just a few minutes. Gotta get these coin stacks too. Do not want to forget. Strong axe as well. That'll help us get wood even faster. Okay, this run is going as perfect as it could possibly go. Got the giant sack too. Okay, so we don't need to head back to base just yet. Can loot a little bit more and make sure we have enough fuel. All right, let me quickly take care of this raid. And the furniture trader is also in town. And because we have so many coins, we should be good to buy out everything he has. And now let's use the fuel that we got. See if we can get fire level 6. We probably will. There we go. So we're already doing really good. It's only day 7. Now let's go hit up the furniture trader and get some more scrap on the way, because we will need a lot. It's just 60 for the torches. All right, let's see. We got 3 flowers, 3 more flowers, 4 fences, 4 trellises, and a signpost. Okay, we can only get the icy throne as well, but he had a lot of furniture. Seems like a lot more than normal, but I did find the whirlpool as well. Their last time was a weapon, and there it is. Okay, I want to get that poison spear. That's actually going to be pretty helpful. Grab that and then just run. Gonna take a little bit of poison damage, but as long as we have the spear, that's gonna be a big help. And now let's just get our scrap. And I do want to go get the hammer soon. We do have the strong axe, so getting in there should be really easy. So let's head that way, get the hammer. That way we can actually start picking up furniture while we're looting. And let me also quickly get the first kid. All right, got the key and some pelt, but I am currently being kidnapped by a couple more wolves and I'm about to die. All right, got the first kid. Not gonna get the chest. We're already pretty good on what we need. Maybe I could trade with him just before it turns nighttime. Gonna skip out on the anvil for right now. Gonna skip. Oh, dude. That timing. All right. Well, very close. We'll just trade with him next time. We also have a lot of scrap. Almost 60 that we need, but we will need more than that. Owl is also awake, so we gotta be careful. So this giant sack and also the strong axe is gonna help us a lot this run. We could transport more wood at a time, and we can also get the bigger trees, which give you 4 saplings each. So we'll see just how quickly we can get this done. We're gonna need a lot, though. This is gonna be a square base as big as possible that fits in the ring that we're gonna have. It's gonna take maybe a few hundred wood, maybe 500. I'm not sure. I'm just throwing numbers out there, but it's gonna take a lot. All right, it's daytime. Now let's head over to the anvil, get the hammer, get some scrap. And I'm really hoping that we get a lot of furniture from the furniture trader each time, because otherwise we might finish this base too quickly to fill it out. And there's the hammer. All right, finish out this trip and then we'll see what we can do. We might be able to actually start building the base already. Sir, welcome to my home. I didn't invite you. That's kind of rude to invite yourself. Not gonna lie, but at least he was nice about it. Drop all the stuff we got, and now we have about 100 of each. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make the base as big as possible right away. We're gonna move these, but for now we'll just place all 10 torches, and there we go. Now the border goes all the way out to here, so it's insanely far. And in order to build this as perfectly square as I can, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start at one of the 4 directions, cardinal directions, like right here, with a flat wall, but we actually can't do that because it curved in a little bit. Interesting. How could, hold on, let me bust out Microsoft Paint. All right, we draw our circle like this. We have one big circle. That is our base. Now, if I build a square here, I'm building more of a rectangular shape, and I don't want, actually, that does look pretty square, but if I build it too high, I'm gonna build a rectangle. If I build it too low, I'm still gonna build a rectangle. So I need to find the distance in between here and here on this arc using pi times gravity divided by Bitcoin plus Earth rotation. We do rot for short in science. And then last thing you have to do is add friction. And then that gives us the answer of, I have to keep testing it out in game. So let's see. I want to figure out where the corner is. I would assume the corner is right here if I'm looking perfectly 45-degree angle. So we're not going to be 100% sure, not pixel perfect, but I think right here would be good to build our first wall that will go this way and then also this way. So we're gonna leave the steak on top of the meat right there just to mark it, and then we're gonna cook these. All right, so we got about 90 wood right now, but instead of just building and then getting more wood and then building, I think what might be a little bit faster is to just get as much wood as possible and then build probably the whole thing in one go, or maybe half and then half, just so that we're not overbuilding. All right, so let's go get the second kit today. All right, here they are. Now the poison spear should be good enough for me to keep my distance. Yeah, it's looking good. Put the key in in there as fast as possible. We might even be able to go get the third kid because I do know generally where he's at, or at least I think I do. Yeah, okay, perfect. Right next to where the second kid was. All right, third. Wait. Oh, okay, wait, I think they fixed the problem. It used to be that the kids would place their tents out of order if you brought them back to the base out of order, but I guess not anymore, so that's good. All right, our trees just grew, but before we cut them down, I think we're just gonna get more saplings anyway, but Furniture Trader is back in town. And when you realize the fact that this park was shut down and we're pretty much investigating this place, and yet there's somehow a Furniture Trader and there was a bird watcher in here, it seems like the police just do not care about this place anymore at all. All right, what does he have today? We have 50 coins. He still has a decent amount of furniture. We're gonna get the camping chairs, the barrels, daisies, and the bookshelf, but the log benches, I don't really use those. I do sometimes, but they're not that important to the base, so I just skip out on those. All right, we have an absolute ton of saplings right now, and we also already have 250 wood in the crafting bench. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna let this keep on growing, keep on getting us more wood. So let me grab this a little bit right here, and then we're actually gonna go to the stronghold, and the reason for that is because I do want to get more coins, so that way we can always trade with the Furniture Trader when he comes by, and with that, that'll help us fill out the base a lot. So let's see, I don't have the location yet, but because we have a lot of materials, let me just grab the radar real quick, put that right here, and let's get that. Okay, wow, okay, I was apparently right next to it not too long ago. Didn't even realize though. So let's do this real quick, and we should have enough coins for maybe even 2 times that he comes by. All right, so we got that done, and we now have about 100 furniture coins. Now I do want to give you guys a quick tip as well, because this was very, very nice for when it happened to me. Let's say you loot the stronghold and you are trying to get the chest, but you just can't get it. There's a tree in your way. For me right now, it's not that bad. But let's say there's a tree in your way and you just cannot get the chest. Climb down the rope, come back here, and if you have the strong axe, just cut down the tree. Then we can just go around to the door, and make sure you do this pretty fast because you do not want the stronghold to close on you. And now you can see there's no more tree, and we can get the mythic chest. I also got some kunai. That's not bad. We could use that for going and getting the 4th kid, which would actually make that be super fast. We also have a ton of wood right here, so let's just see how massive this pile gets. All right, that seems like a lot of wood. Maybe even 100 pieces of wood right here. I'll count using the sack because each time I go is 25. All right, that's 1. This will be 2. Here's 3. Here's 4, and we're not that close to being done yet. This will be 5. Still not done, and this will be 6. But this should be the last right here. There we go. So 6 plus 17. That'll be 150 plus 17. 167 pieces of wood. That was an insane amount. We now have 425 wood, which means we might just be able to finish this base already, or at least the square part of it. We're obviously going to put stuff inside though. So I don't know if I want to build all that immediately, but we'll build a bunch and see how that goes. Let me also replant all of these. All right, let's just start building. We'll go get the 4th kid eventually, and we'll get the giant bed eventually. Now let me get the old bed too, because we have a ton of wood. And then let's just build a bunch of walls. All right, well, I just used about 300 wood right there. Not too bad, you know? And right here is where we marked our corner to be. Now we do have to be a little bit farther away from it. You can't really use some of this space. It's a little odd, but we're just gonna have to work with it. And then now it's just making this as straight as possible. We don't want this to be any other shape. And actually what I'm doing is, because this is perfectly on a tile line, I'm not sure exactly what to call it, but maybe chunk line. It's very easy for me to make this straight because we just gotta keep following the chunk line. All right, yeah, it's looking straight so far. And right here is the limit. So we've built our first side, and we actually might need even more wood. I don't think I'm gonna have enough log walls for this, but now let's start going to the left. This is gonna be a little bit harder to line up, but it shouldn't be too difficult. Just gotta keep checking it every once in a while, and we do have the hammer in case. All right, I only have 2 walls left. The wall's looking very straight, and man, we are not gonna be able to finish this. We're gonna be able to finish more than half, but not all of it. So we're definitely gonna need more wood, which makes me glad that I planted all these saplings again, because I was thinking that maybe we wouldn't need all this. It turns out we will. And with this is this corner. So we have 50% of it built so far. Looks very nice, but we are gonna need more wood. All right, we're gonna place these last few that we already have. Then we're gonna go hit up the Furniture Trader because he is back today. And there we go. Looks fairly straight. Base is looking nice. Now let's go get more furniture. All right, what do we have? We have 130 coins. We should be able to buy everything. We got 2 sunflowers, bookshelf, signpost, and 3 hedgerow curved, which will allow us to get the fishbowl and the snowman with 70 coins left over. over. We're getting a decent pile of furniture so far, which makes me feel a lot better that we'll try to be able to fill out all of this, but I might, actually I probably will go out and get some more furniture as well. And we're also going to move the kids' tents. Now that you can do that with the hammer, it is way nicer and it's going to allow for some better base design. So for example, this could be the kids' corner or the boys' corner, and then this side could be the girls' corner, and this side could be the farm, and this side could be the basketball court. We could do a whole bunch of nice things, whereas when the tents were stuck like this, you kind of were forced to put all the kids next to each other, but we're gonna have more room now that you can move them. But for now, let me deforest an entire country. All right, very nice pile. All right, before replanting all of this, actually, you know what? I'm just gonna make a fair estimate right now. We're gonna replant about half the saplings, because right now I have about 200 wood in the crafting bench. I don't think we're gonna need too much more. So we're gonna replant these ones right here, probably a little more than half, but with that, we should be good. Now let me build all the walls we can and get this done. Then it's time for decorating, which is the probably more fun part. It is satisfying building this wall, but decorating, you gotta be creative. All right, and it looks like this lines up perfectly as well. So we did this probably as square as we could get it. Not pixel perfect, obviously, but very nice. Now I might not even need the half bit of saplings I planted. I might have needed a lot less, but either way, as long as we get this done, and we're not even at day 99 yet, and although we didn't get all the multipliers, we're still doing pretty decent. All right, so we're gonna have a little stuck spot right here. Seems like cultists might be able to get through, but we'll have to see. Yeah, we are almost done with this, and we have 2 walls left. Yeah, all right, we're gonna need like 2, probably 3 walls left to make it look nice, but that is what we have so far, a huge square base. Now it's not as big as a circular base, because when you want to fit a square into a circle, you're gonna have a lot of dead space like back here. That is a lot of space not used, but we are doing this square, and actually the more sides that we add to our base, the more room that we're gonna have. So if we build a pentagon base, we'll have a little bit more room. A decagon base, we'll have a lot of room. That is 10 whole sides. Eventually, I don't know if I'll stop at decagon or maybe a little bit later, but eventually we just reach a pretty much circle. All right, yeah, I do think the cultists are just getting right through that hole, so we're gonna have to patch that, which means we're gonna need a few more walls. But let me actually go get the 4th kid really quick. What in? No, you're kidding me. Okay, at least we're not stuck though. I can just build a hammer in front of where the 4th kid is. Yeah, there we go. All right, now we have her on a compass, and we can place this back. All right, just throw all our kunai down there. Probably won't be enough, but it will help a lot and is very fast. And then instead of using our rifle, we'll actually use a revolver because it shoots a lot faster when you do the trick. Basically, shoot, switch, and then do that over and over again. Kind of hard on mobile probably, but on desktop, it is very easy. Or at least it's easy to learn. We also got the mythic chest right here. Not sure what I'm hoping for. Don't really need much. Okay, we got thorn body. We don't need that. You know what? Maybe we can actually bring that back to the base anyway as decoration though. So I'm gonna do that. All right, we're back to the base. We also got more furniture, and the 4th kid will be home. Got our first forest gem, and now we're gonna cut down all these trees, put it all in the crafting bench, make what we need, and I'm also hoping to make an oil drill. That way we won't have to worry about fuel for this run. All right, let's build 3 walls should be enough. Or actually, wait, we do need a door, and then we'll use these last 2 logs to build a square indent. I could probably get away with only 2 walls, but if this is a square base, we're gonna keep it a square base. So let me get 1 last wall. All right, so then let's get the crafting bench 4, and the oil drill, we just need 10 more scrap. All right, our indent is there. Now we just need 10 scrap. So boost pad out of here. Let's get that and come back immediately. This will be 3 with the radio. Got 3 more with this fan. So that's 6, 7 with the bolt. So I'm gonna wait a little bit just to go get the scrap for no particular reason. I just don't think scrap's really in season today, especially if you want to buy it on sale. You're gonna have to wait until Blue Wednesday, because I heard that's when you get the best scrap deals, you know, and that's the only reason. So just give me about a minute or so and we'll go do that. All right, now it is officially Blue Wednesday. Let's go get, actually, furniture traders back too. Let me get this scrap really fast. We just need 1 more broken fan or something like that, and we'll be good. All right, there we go. Broken microwave, that's more than enough. Now let's go get our furniture. Green signpost, 2 camping chairs, nightstand, purple pillows, great for the girl side that we're gonna make, and a sunflower. All right, let's get this oil drill, and I just realized we're gonna need even more scrap for the giant bed, but for now the oil drill is good enough. Gonna place that right here for now, just barely not touching the campfire, while also facing the campfire when you place it, so that way this little doorway will open and shoot it right under the campfire for you. So actually I might want to keep this in the base here. This is pretty interesting. This is the legendary built in 1902 tree rock. Don't ask how it was built or how it was made. I just know it was 1902. It's just very small print that only I can see because I wear colored contacts. If they weren't colored, I wouldn't be able to see it. All right, our cultists, I don't know why I said our cultists. They are not ours, but they're coming in through the door, which is good. I do want them to come in through one place. Yeah, okay, they're all coming in now. That's actually really good. Maybe this is a optimal base size. Maybe not 100% optimal, but this makes the raids really easy. They're all in one place. And there we go. Done very, very fast. So now let's start making this base look really nice. So let's clean up all these saplings. We're still gonna keep them, but we're gonna put them outside the base. You know what? I don't like this bush being in the way of the door here. So we're gonna move the door to be right here. And I feel like that would look a little bit nicer. Yeah. Wait, hold up. There's a thing right in the way here. Okay, so we're gonna do it on the other side right there. Or in the center, we could do it right here. I feel like the center would be nice. I'm just trying to make it look as nice as possible, and this should be good. So let me fill in this last wall right here, and now let's actually get to building. So first things first, let's grab the two boys' tents, the Dino Kid and the Squid Kid, and we'll put them in this corner right back here. So we'll put the Dino Kid's tent right here, and the Squid Kid's tent at about the same location right here. And then we'll have a whole bunch of stuff for them to do right here. Basketball court will go into the back right here. I don't really want to dig for the hoop right now, so we're gonna move the girls' tents. Then we're gonna do something similar with their tents, just like this, Dino Kid and Koala Kid. And then we'll put more stuff back here. And then the farm will have be in the back corner, where maybe we could use this as some kind of wall. Maybe we could use that as a corner for the farm. We'll have to see. But now is the time for a very interesting part. You know, it's very, very fun, where we have to sort all of our furniture. So let me start doing that. We have everything pretty decently sorted. Not perfectly, but we have them in sections. We have chairs and then a table. We have nightstands and we have a nightstand and two bookshelves, two hoops, one rug, camping chairs, flowers, farm stuff, signposts, misc furniture like the fishbowl and Kevin, and then purple pillows. So let's actually start with the basketball court, because I'm interested to see what we could do for that. I think these green chairs would actually work pretty nicely, because they do look kind of like bleachers if I put them really close together. So let's grab the hoops and let's place them down. Actually, we know what, we're going to place the chairs first because they're in the way of my inventory. Now I want to place them really close together, just like this, to try to make it look like one big bleacher. All right, this looks pretty decent. We have one big bleacher right here to watch the game. And then if you're wondering what this seat is about, this is actually our courtside seat. Costs $20,000, and Kevin will personally dunk on you. And what I mean by that is just going to dunk, and then he's literally going to fall on you, crushing your spine. That's why it costs extra. So tickets are selling fast because we quite literally only have one of them. So please feel free to send $20,000 to the Ugandan government. Why? I have no idea, but you know what? Actually, you know what? I don't want to get that. That is a joke for legal reasons. Please do not send $20,000 to the Ugandan government. All right, now let's place our hoops right here. Gonna have it be closer to the wall. There we go. And then our second hoop will be right here. So that way you have a good view of the game. They have a decent amount of room to play. The 3-point line is probably like right here underneath the other team's hoop, but that works just fine. Furniture Trader is also back, so let me go hit him up and we'll get a little bit more stuff. Okay, that's good. Mythic Fountain, 4 fairy light doubles, 2 tables. We do want tables, trellises, and log benches, which we'll just get because we have a lot of coins. So that was actually a really good visit. The fountain is very rare. So now let's figure out what we can do. The fountain, actually, I do have a good idea. I want to put that for the girls' base, and we could put chairs and pillows around it as a very nice hangout area back there. Now, Kevin, he's going with the boys. I don't think there will ever be a video in my entire life where Kevin is not going with the boys. Kevin is going right here in the corner with the boys. Gonna be right in front of his beautiful throne, and that looks nice. I kind of wish you could build furniture on top of each other, but I have no idea what that would lead to. So maybe it's a good thing that I can't put Kevin directly on his throne, but still looks nice. Now we have a bunch of camping chairs, which just so happen to be purple and red, which do fit nicely for girl colors. So we'll put these all around the fountain. All right, one last one right here. There we go. That actually doesn't look bad at all. That looks pretty cozy. Now I'm wondering, we do have the fish bowl. It would make sense for him to be near some water. So just in case his water starts going down, we'll also put Nemo back here. Not in the corner though, that's kind of sad. So we'll put Nemo off to the side right here next to the Koala Kid's tent. And that way they'll always have water for him. He's also a little bit big for that tank, but as long as he's fine and not moving, which is a little bit weird, but hey, you know, he's alive. I see bubbles coming out. Wait, bubbles coming out. Why are there bubbles coming out of him? I don't think fish breathe that way. I don't know who designed this. Maybe I'm wrong, but this seems a little wrong. All right, now let's take our beds and give them to each of the kids. Koala Kid has to get the good bed because there is no purple bed. Kraken Kid gets the giant bed. Dino Kid gets the old bed, and Squid Kid gets the regular bed. Now, maybe actually, if I want to use the space better, maybe we should put the beds on the inside, and then they could have a shared space in the middle. Okay, we're gonna do that. So we're gonna put the bed right here, and then we'll do the same thing for the girls, but for now, let's build out what the boys have. I'm gonna give them a bit more stuff just because the girls do have the bigger bed. So we're gonna give each of them a bookshelf behind the bed. All right, this looks a little weird. Let me move both of these. That looks better. Now for the nightstand, we'll give to the koala kid just because their color doesn't match. There we go. We do have a green rug. I think we're gonna have that be right in the center of the boys' base, so just in front of Kevin, just so he doesn't have to walk on the grass like poor people do. Kevin over here actually has a net worth of $30 trillion because in one of the last videos, I actually paid him $20,000 a second. It turns out you get into as much debt as the United States by paying that much money. Now, I'm not sure what else we could add to the boys' base other than these log benches, which we could put right around this rug. Yeah, actually, you know what? This would be like their living room. Yeah, I do like that idea. This is like their living room, and whoever sits right here gets to stick their feet into the bunny place. I have no idea. That's probably gonna hurt. They're probably gonna bite your toes, but just don't sit here. Move the basketball over to the court as well. This actually doesn't look bad. It looks pretty nice. Now, what I actually do want to do is pick up some of our torches and then add them to the boys' side, which will give it a little bit more detail, making it look nice. We'll put one behind Kevin because Kevin is actually the world's only snowman that doesn't melt. We'll put a torch right here in between the tent and the bookshelf. Same thing right here. Actually, you know what? Let's do it in the front just so it's more visible. And with that, I think that looks nice enough. Now I'm gonna add 2 torches for the basketball court, one right here, and then one next to the other hoop. Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna move the beds onto the inner part right here because we actually do have quite a bit of this space used up already. But let's grab some of the torches and we'll do something similar as we did with the boys' side. And then these last 2 torches, we'll use them for the farm. So let's put a torch right here in front, another one right here in front. Actually, we'll put on this side. Then we'll put last one right here. So it seems like we have the 3 corners of the base almost done. Not 100% sure if we're done because we do have a lot of flowers as well. But with that, let's start working on the farm. Actually, wait, we do have lights as well. We will want to use those eventually. For now, let's pick up the farms we have. And now let's figure out what we can do with this broken wall right here. Maybe we can put a farm plot right here. And we could place a bunch of farm plots in these plus signs and then continue the wall with some trellises just like this. And then fade into some fences, hedgerows, and all that. Actually, no, we should do mossy trellises touching the wall. So that way it actually matches the wall a little bit better. And then we're going to have a section right here for the crock pot. So we'll put the barrels on the sides. We should be able to fit a crock pot in between these. Then we'll extend with a trellis and curve with a hedgerow. All right. And with that, we have our farm. Now we have 2 hedgerow curves. I don't think we're going to use them. Maybe we'll use them in another way, but not for the farm. So now we're going to need more wood for the farm plot. So let's actually plant some of these trees back here. I'm just going to plant all of them and then we can chop them down as we need them. All right. What are you doing on the oil drill? You are literally maybe 3 feet away from death. Please be careful. I genuinely don't. How in the world did the AI even get up there? That's pretty rare. The AI has to walk perfectly up one of the legs. But while we wait for our wood to grow, let's place the rest of our furniture. So we have some tables, but not really any more chairs. So for now, we're going to leave the tables. We're going to do what we can with our flowers. The sunflowers, we'll go ahead and put these in the farm because that would look pretty nice, just like this. But why are you walking in the flower, man? It does not smell that good that you have to shove your face against the entire thing. And why are you still on the oil drill? There's no way you're stuck up there still. The kids are worried about you. They're watching. He's sniffing flowers. He doesn't care about you, but you need to come down. All right, let's see. We got our signposts. We'll put the red one for the Dino Kid. Green signpost, we'll put that for the farm. Blue will go to the Kraken Kid. And purple to the Koala Kid. Gonna place some daisies for some nice contrast with the white and blue. Then some magnolia for the Koala Kid's base. Couple flowers for the hangout area. One back here and one right here. And then why not? We'll put 2 more flowers for the farm. Looks very, very nice. Now these tables, we don't have any chairs. So maybe we could use this table as a display table. So we have all 3 of them right there. And then we have our thorn armor, which I want to be able to make stand up again. Not upside down though. There we go. Okay. And then the thorn armor we could put right here. That looks pretty cool. So now I want to find 2 other things we could show. An oil barrel is pretty rare, not extremely rare like thorn armor, but we could have that be for this table. And then we need something as the centerpiece. Maybe the thorn body should be the centerpiece. And then we'll find something else for the right side. Maybe an engine. Yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to go find an engine and then we'll have that be for the ride table. Now for our hedgerow curved, maybe we could put on the sides of the girls' beds just as a little bit extra decoration. Why not? We'll put 2 fairy lights on each of their, or 1 fairy light per tent. And we did forget the purple pillows too. Okay, so let's do that. Put the fairy lights and then the pillows. I actually am not sure we could put that. Maybe back here and then back here in these empty spaces. Now we'll put a fairy light right here for the farm. And then we'll put one behind the bleachers for some lighting. But just as I thought we were about to be done placing furniture, my bro, the furniture trader, is back. And you are get off of the oil drill. All right, let's see what he's got. Hedgerow curved. I don't want those. Blue camping chairs and green camping chairs. We could actually use these. And we got the other mythic, the deer trophy. Not bad at all. That is very nice. Let's place the archway right in the door right here. The deer trophy. I know exactly where this is going. My boy Kevin actually killed the deer. I'm not lying. He straight up killed the deer, got into Minecraft creative mode, or actually no, he was playing on PlayStation and he got the deer trophy. And now because I'm playing on desktop, the deer is still alive. Yeah, that makes much more sense. Kevin, thank you for clearing that up, even though you didn't say a word. Now for these camping chairs, not sure exactly what we can do with them. I guess we could put them around this area just so that the boys have a few more seats. And green and blue does fit. All right, looks a little bit nicer. They have some more seats. Now let's go get our engine. Well, looks like we're not getting our engine tonight. Deer is hungry. Let's get our farm plots. All right, we got 80 wood. Probably won't need all these farm plots, but we'll see how many we can place. Looks like we're not even going to be able to place more than 4 because I do want the crafting or the crock pot to be right here. So let's go grab that. Put that right here. And then we have a little bit of extra space for if you want to stand and take a break. Yes, if you work here and you are done with a 14-hour shift, we don't allow you to sit. That sitting is for people who don't like to work. So we will allow you to stand for 30 seconds on break, then immediately get back in your 14-hour shift. Try to sleep 8 hours in those 30 seconds if you can. Otherwise, you're going to have to deal with it. Now, I do want to do something a little bit different. I want to pick up this deer trophy and I want to pick up Kevin because I want to put them out front. I feel like it would look really nice as a nice entryway with a deer trophy being a pretty cool item right here. And then Kevin himself, the man, the myth, the legend, Kevon, just like this. Makes the base look just a little bit better. I'm also going to move the fairy light archway because although it is a little cool, it does mess up the lighting and I want the logs to be all one color. So instead, what we can do is place this here on the farm, pick up the fairy lights we had here originally, pick up this one as well, and then place 2 of them behind the bleachers to look a little bit nicer. Now, take our defense blueprints and just shove all of them by the front door. And we should be good to kill pretty much every cultist doing this. And we're about to get raided tonight. So let me place all these as fast as I can. Gonna do it in an alternating pattern. And then we'll place our stakes right here since we don't have any more barbed wire. And hopefully that should kill all of them. So let's see what happens. We have the deer staring at us. And now they're coming right towards me. And they're dying. Perfect. 2 more on their way in. Same exact thing. Here's another. Now we're just waiting on the 2 crossbow guys. There's the first one. And I do see the second one back there. And done. Raid done. Didn't even have to do a single thing. That's very nice. Now let me go get the engine that we need. And this should be the base completely done. There we go. We got our engine. But we also did get 2 oil barrels. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a stack of oil barrels instead of just the 1. All right. Looks nice. We got our engine too. We'll place that. I do want it at a different angle. I want it to be 45 degrees like this. And this is a nice little area where we have some cool stuff. 3 oil barrels, thorn body, Okar engine. All right, let's do the base tour. Right outside, we have Kevin, who actually killed the deer and got this PS4/PS7 trophy. Kevin is just that rich, he bought the PS7 50 years in advance. Then we have our defensive traps, which actually work very, very nicely, as you can see. Turning to your left, we actually have the girls' hangout area / their rooms. We have the Kraken kids area right here, Koala kids area right here. Then fountain right in the middle, Finding Nemo. He's actually very expensive, very popular actor, by the way. Flowers, purple pillows, just a very nice girls' side right here. Then on our way to the boys' side, you can see that we have some valuables right here, 3 oil barrels, thorn body, and an old car engine. Here we have stuff that I dropped, gotta pick that up. Then we have the boys' hangout area. We have the Dino kids bed, the Squid kids bed, and they don't have as nice of beds as the girls do, but hopefully soon they'll add more furniture to the game. Then we have a nice little living room right here where they can hang out, and they could even do stuff in the center here, play board games, whatever they feel like. But back here, we have our NBA NA certified court with 2 hoops, bleachers if you want to watch the game that do have lighting, and if you want to get absolutely destroyed with all of your bones and spine being cracked whenever somebody falls on you, this seat is actually very expensive. So make sure you buy your tickets by sending the money to the Ugandan government, which again is a joke. And over here in this last corner we have our farm with all the food that we could need, flowers all around to make it look nice, very light archway to go in and out, and lastly the Kraken kid just refuses to get down from that oil drill. Why? I have no idea. But that is the big... Actually, I forgot to do this. Hold on, I forgot to move these torches. There we go. We now have torches in the farm. Actually, wait, hold on, I want to have torches out here. That actually look really nice. All right, that does look a little bit nicer. It's kind of hard to see with it being nighttime, but there we go. It's daytime and we can see the base very nicely. And with that, that is the biggest square base in 99 Nights in the Forest. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and click on this video right here.